Let's do an update. It's been a very long time. I don't even know if I made a post after radiation, but I got my no evidence of disease. I never thought that would happen. I'm currently working in my mom's office doing like Rose's office work. Yeah, so I had my appointment on February 13th. I'll always remember that because 13s are my number. And it was a Friday 13th. But anyway, I got my no evidence of disease. And I made my oncologist repeat that to me like 3 times. I'm like, so what you're saying is, if I'm understanding this correctly, I really thought that was impossible for me. So I was shook, immediate tears. But let me like dive into what that actually means, because it doesn't mean I'm cancer free. No one can really ever say you're cancer free. But what it means is of the disease that we know and saw in my body, we physically removed it. So the evidence of that disease that we knew was there is gone, right? So the tumor I had has been physically, surgically removed. There's no evidence of that anymore. The way my oncologist described it, and this is a great analogy, I loved this, is like a dandelion. You know, those little like weeds, those wishy weeds that you can blow in the spring and they make wishes, whatever. We got the root and we got like the stem and all that, but there's still those little wishies that can fall to the ground, right? And my body is essentially the ground of which those wishies fall. So like there's still those cells. So I'm still on medications and in treatment for that, and I will be for the next 10 years. But I did ask my oncologist for a PET scan, and she agrees. Like that would be, a good thing to do. If it settles my mentals, just to know, like, I guess I just want a baseline. I want a baseline of my body after treatment. Is this like, I can't get one for a couple months because it'll show inflammation, and I still have inflammation from my surgeries. So we could be chasing something that's benign and just inflammation from surgery. So that's the thing about PET scans, is like it could lead you down a rabbit hole to nothing. So, but I do still want one because I want to know, like I said, a baseline of what's going on now post-treatment. It's been a little hard for me to adjust to life post-treatment. I mean, I'm loving, obviously, not going into the hospital for chemo or radiation or recovering from a surgery, but it's kind of hard because it's like that was my whole life for almost a year. And it became a safety net for me to go to treatments. And I think that, I've heard from a lot of people that survivorship is sometimes the hardest part because you're processing the trauma, you're constantly questioning if it's back. There's scanxiety, which a lot of, like, some people get scans every 3 months, every 6 months. That's not protocol for me, but I know my oncologist will get me a scan if I'm having constant pain here or there, and I think it's cancer. Perks, I guess, because as a person with OCD, who's always wanted a full body scan, I guess maybe it was intuition and not anxiety. I think right now I'm on my journey to adjusting to life, and it's really hard because I don't know how to show up as Roses versus Liz, because I'm obviously, I've the Hannah Montana situation. I'm obviously both people, but it's so hard because, like I said, for the last almost year, I have been in like survival mode. You need to live, like this is what you need to do to survive. And now all of a sudden I'm like out in the world. That's hard to navigate. And obviously I'm in therapy, I'm in a support group, and yeah, I've got new music coming out in March, which I'm really excited about. My hair is growing and it's curly. Like this, the reason it's like this, I look like an Italian grandfather who's just left mass, is because literally like it's so curly. So like when I get out of the shower, I just like plaster it down. But at some point I need to figure out, because like the back of my head is none of my business. But it's getting like really curly, and I know that I can only like plaster it down for so long before I start getting like alfalfas. I feel like I'm definitely getting some energy back. I do have days where I'm like completely exhausted, and I know that that's also normal. And it might be for a while. The brain fog is a real thing. Like I have such brain lag. Like I'll be talking to my husband in bed and I just can't find the word, and I'm just like completely shut off. Like my brain is just completely not working. And it's frustrating for me because I'm like, what? I can't get the word out. What am I trying to say? I know that's also due to the chemical menopause I'm in. But chemo brain and trauma brain, all of that is valid too, you know? So I don't know. I'm learning how to live again. I'm learning how to live again. That's where I'm at. And I'm really processing the trauma of it all. And, you know, I've decided I'm not mad at my body. It just got a little lost. And it just needed help finding its way back. I know that, and rightfully so, there are some people that are just so become so angry at their bodies. And I was, but like at the end of the day, it didn't know. It just didn't know. I'm not mad at myself. I'm not mad at this body for, I had the warning signs at least, right? I'm thankful for that. I had an interview the other day and I was asked if I regretted, if I could go back and not have cancer, would I? And my answer is no, which is fucking wild because, of course, no one wants cancer, but the perspective on life it has given me, I'll never take that for granted. Like the joy in the little things that I never even paid attention to before. Being able to lift my arm, like how beautiful that is. If you're just starting, wherever you are in your cancer journey, if you're on one at all, just know you're not alone and you can get through this. You can do it. You can and you will.